Hello everybody, the Marquis Lino Bonnici talking to you again. This time about the next president of the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump. Donald Trump will probably clinch the GIP presidential primary nomination with wins in Florida, Illinois, and maybe even Ohio on the big Tuesday. But that's where the good news for Mr. Trump is, because he's about to find out that what's worked for him in the early stage of his campaign and through the primary election won't carry over to a general election contest. And that's especially true with Hillary Clinton being the likely Democratic president nominee and on top of her crimes and her treason for the United States during the last year. Trump, an expected and majority rise to the GOP nomination, is about to be secured as Tuesday primary, but this is as far as he goes. General elections, even crazy years like 1968 and 2060, are a different kind of deal that even the Donald can't close. There are three key reasons for the Trump campaign in November. One, primaries are like congressional midterms. They draw a much smaller number of voters with a much more defined agent. Name regulation, the kind that Trump has enjoyed for years, is more crucial. The primary and midterm voters are also usually than the average presidential general election voter, and that has worked in Trump's favor since last June. It's unprecedented that Trump has been filling large stadiums and arenas during the primary stage of this election. But in general election, stadium-sized crowds are standard for, so where those Trump primary voters and sure to come out in November for the general election. They are going to have a lot of company that's likely to draw out a bigger portion of their voices. By definition, general elections are those tend more in favor of the more moderate candidates. 2. Trump really can track to the middle. Can you even keep a straight face one considering whether Trump could choose someone like Jeb Bush in his running mate? I didn't think so. Trump has painted himself into such a corner that trying to attract more mainstream voters by choosing establishment running mates or significantly softening his tone seems impossible. To be clear, there is nothing to physically stop Trump from doing those things, but moderating his image, message, or campaign team will surely alienate his key base of voters who not only want change, but do not want to track with insider figures. Trump is more likely to choose someone like big Carson, or another non-Washington insider running match, and that means Trump will have to use his VIP picture play defense with his home base is opposed to going out is an offense to grab more moderate voters. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton's major campaign message already seems to be shifting to portray itself as the same alternative to Trump and the rhetoric that gives many voters pause. 3. This is going to get ugly. I believe the nasty violence and clearly coordinated protests disrupting Trump rallies this weekend are actually helping his primary chances from now. At this stage, they make Trump look like the victim of the sternly liberal and non-Republican growth. But if there is similar chaos at the Republican convention and a Trump rally in the general election, the perception will go from sympathy to fear, scorn, and a legitimate worry. But Trump, who can't keep the peace at his campaign rallies, surely won't be able to keep America safe as president. That's what we saw most famously from Democrats in 1968 on their violent Chicago convention, significantly weakened nominee Herbert Humphrey from the get-go. What a lot of people forget is that it didn't stop in Chicago in the summer 2004, and Hitler's righteously killed Doug Humphrey's campaign appearances. That combination left him way behind in the polls. Humphrey and running mad Senator Edmund Muskie finally chose the counting time late in the game when they started letting some hiccups come on stage and speak briefly into the microphones, making them look like elder statesmen by comparison. But it was too late. The change in the polls Humphrey enjoyed in late October wasn't enough to carry him over the finish line ahead of Richard Nixon, who won the popular vote by a hair. I bring out the 1968 example, not only because that election was nasty, but because it was a decidedly violent and dividing year in American history. It was also a year of unprecedented American casualties. In the Vietnam War in 2016, think, in 2016 is, thankfully, not as violent a year, but the campaign rhetoric is probably nastier this year, and the electorate is just as angry and divided, maybe more so. I always laugh at the experts who actually use ill-advised words like unprecedented one describing negative politics in modern nation, because nothing can really beat the nastiness of the election of each 100,000 or 828, where sitting presidents were accused in the established newspapers, knowledge of everything from being hermaphrodites to babes. But the physical violence that's ensued at Trump rallies really does look like it's going down at the president's bad. I'm not sure the Trump campaign or the Secret Service can keep the peace at these events going forward. And that's the final major advantage for Hillary Clinton, which means she'll ground political events or raid and battle for this decades now. And thanks to Trump's extremely high negative polling numbers, those telegraph Clinton rallies will have every incentive to be centered around the leitmotif of Trump is evil internet. It was a nasty race through and through. And when things get nasty, voters often go with someone they don't personally like, but they see is the only reasonable option. That's exactly how Nixon won the White House in '68. To use one last example from that very simple and restrictive year, Trump's unexpected method equated to the GOP nomination is about to be secured after the primaries. But this is as far as he goes. The election, even in crazy year like 2016, are a different kind of deal that even Donald can close. Commentary. Now this commentary is very full and very clear that Trump he needs more ways to conceive his chances to win the presidency. We're all announced our standard and mobility with Mr. Donald Trump for the next presidential election in the United States of America and against the Democratic Liberal Bolshevik Party, represented by the Bolshevik, the traditional Hillary Clinton, and the old communist Bill Carson, and Lino Bonnici.